what the state of the dirt is in this field, although the depth of colour would appear to indicate that we are very close to needing to reanalyze the soil again in this field. And I think part of that is due to you're doing 2 to 3 harvests a year with clover, and that then means that your soil map degrades over time, and I think it's probably triggered by number of harvests. And I must admit, normally I haven't seen that as a thing for people playing with precision farming, but I believe if we jump to the precision farming screen, I don't know. Outdated data. See, it turns black on pH, it turns black on nitrogen. So eventually we'll get to the point where, I better turn that off. Yeah, we will be at the point where the data is completely out of date. Then you have to go and reanalyze the fields again. And the way that gets indicated is by the darkness of the colour. You look at one of my more recent purchases. Go back to pH. We just bought this field, so these colours are quite vibrant. These are less so. This one is lower than this one because we did 2 harvests in 1 year on that field. It's another recent purchase, so very vibrant colours. This not so much, but there were trees there which I chopped down and ploughed the field, so we have a more recent analysis there. And then these fields over here are very dark, indicating we're very close to needing another soil analysis run. And like I said, I haven't seen that on anybody else's YouTube or Twitch farms that plays with precision farming. I just hit a tree. But I think that's probably because most people don't have series that run quite so long as this one. Okay, I'm going to swing this around the island. And it's not easy to tell where the cutoff is here. At least not until you hit the edge of it. And also I think there is a slight issue. If I pit a piece of the field that needs doing and then the boom is over to the right, it will give the impression that fertilizer has been spread on that part of the field, even though nothing has been added. So any time now. So everything to the right of where my tractor is on field that is already at sufficient nitrogen levels. But because a significant portion of the boom to the left is on field that needs nitrogen, the sprayer turns on, but the sprayer is just indicating where I've sprayed, not necessarily how much spray has been put on the field. I'm going to swing round to the right so we can do that bit if it needs, or if it notices. Yes, it does. All right. So this is not a huge area or significant amount of fertilizer, and that's part of the advantage of precision farming, is we're not using half a tank to fertilize this field because we don't need that much fertilizer to bring the field to its optimal levels. It's going to be interesting in Farm Sim 22 because we're now going to have variable rate application for manure, slurry and digestate, which is not something I've particularly worried about with this. That's going to be interesting, because with 19 what I'm doing is I will put digestate or manure or slurry. I use digestate on this farm. Before I plant a crop, to boost the nitrogen levels in the field. But I will use solid or liquid fertilizer to bring the field up to ideal levels for the crop that I've planted, because this is a variable application and I can't control the manure application. Now, part of the problem I have is because I do manure application before I plant a crop, the sensors don't really know how much nitrogen the field is going to require. And so, for example, we have some sunflower fields, okay? No, let's go the other way. We have rye field. Is it rye fields this year? Yeah, we've got rye fields this year. Rye needs a lot of fertilizer, or a lot of nitrogen. So we really had to top out the nitrogen content of those fields. Now, if I'm going to plant sunflowers in those fields next year, an oilseed, sunflowers do not need a lot of nitrogen. So I probably won't add digestate or plant oilseed radish when I harvest those fields, because they won't need it. There may be a very small amount of liquid fertilizer that I need to add to the field after planting the sunflowers. Going the other way, if I've got sunflowers in a field and I harvest it, I'm probably going to put down oilseed radish, which adds a fixed amount of nitrogen, and then I'm going to add digestate to the field, which is going to add a fixed amount more of nitrogen, and then I'm going to plant a wheat crop of some type, which needs a ton of nitrogen, may still need a top up of liquid or solid fertilizer. Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, I don't play a lot of online. I've participated in a couple of multiplayer farms where the main or the server owner was a streamer. So Arthur Chapman, we had a good time on what was it? South Mountain Creamery, I think it was, which was a black sheep map in Farm Sim 17. That was a lot of fun. We tried doing the multiplayer in 19, but I'm not sure that really worked out well because we weren't all then working off the same farm. We each had our own different farms, and that kind of breaks up the stream, and so it never really ran for long. I also did a little bit with Steep, a few years back as well, in 17. Okay, that's now detached. I am going to buy myself a spreader. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, fertilizer technology. And I think... okay, that one does like... what does that spread? That's interesting. I can't identify what those two are. That's lime. One of those is fertilizer. I suppose I could look at planters. Where's planters? There. Really? Okay, let's go back to seeders. Right. Oh, okay. I don't know. In fact, I've got no idea what the difference is. So anyway, back. We were doing fertilizing technology, so I'm going to buy one of those. And we will buy a couple of... okay, that's done. And I do... SB1000. I will get one of those, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, that gives us a thing for our... and actually that didn't cost us too much. There we go. I will find the right button to zoom in eventually. But I think as far as Farm Sim 22 is concerned, we've got precision farming coming out in a couple of weeks. The problem with switching to Farm Sim 22 at that point is none of the maps will be tailored for precision farming when it gets released, except the base game maps. So I'm not sure whether I want to delay moving to Farm Sim 22 until a map is specifically tailored for precision farming, or whether I just accept the generic soil map that Giants provides with the mod. Obviously, I prefer a tailored map, but we'll see how that works out. But there is now one of the mods I was really missing. The Harvester Stop mod is now available on some other sites. I haven't tested it out yet because I haven't played Farm Sim 22 in about 3 weeks. But there's one of the mods I like to play with when I'm streaming, because I'm reading chat and then I don't pay attention to how full my harvester is. So that kind of fails things. I end up killing a load of crop while I'm chatting to the viewers. or just whiling away my time talking about stuff. Not the fastest tractor I own, that's for sure. But FarmSim 22, having an appropriately sized tractor, is definitely encouraged with the maintenance schedule. Your tractor... Am I on the wrong side? I'm on the wrong side. Oh, there you go. Your tractor's repair cost is based on the initial purchase price with all your options. So having a tractor this big for the little tasks saves maintenance money. Purely because I don't have to, it's the cheapest tractor I have. I could put narrow tyres on my Challenger and do spraying and spreading with that, but in all likelihood what we'll end up doing is just ending up with a very expensive build, because the Challenger will not do spraying or spreading any quicker than this thing does. So it's kind of, don't have a 300, I only got 2,000, that's perfectly adequate. You don't need a $300,000 tractor with... That's disturbing. With a 3-meter seeder on the back, you are seriously hampering your maintenance costs using such an expensive tractor, and it will wear out as fast as a tractor more suitable for the 3-meter seeder. Anyway, we may take a different trip up to our fields to spread fertilizer on them, I think. Since the fields are up the back of the farm, we can run through the village, which is not usually a trip I would make. And of course the thing with fertilizing, we don't have to rush this. I mean, obviously, FarmSim 22, if I was rolling fields to fertilize them, I would definitely have to do that. It's cut, pull the bales, and get out there and start rolling immediately, because otherwise you destroy part of the growth. Oh, right. I tried that. I did that with Chellington and had a little John Deere 6M. I think it was a 6M. But it was a mod one, so it was smaller than the in-game one. I must admit, I didn't get very far. I made a couple of mistakes, and that was bad. What I'm thinking as an approach for the 22 Saturday series is going to be, I'm going to do a hard start. I'm going to take a maximum loan and buy land with the loan money and equipment with the cash. And the whole plan is that, we've just inherited this farm, which was almost taken by the banks. So half of it has been sold off at auction. All of the equipment was sold off at auction, and there is pretty much 100% loan on the remaining land. And I have just the money I've got to get this started. Now, part of the problem I can see with that, it's quite difficult. We're going to have a horrible loan payment, and we are going to have no spare money. So I have to make sure I have on-hand cash for everything, because I'm not going to be able to borrow any more. I thought there was a gate there. Oh well. Okay, let's check it's on auto. So it's going to be very difficult, I think. And now I'm not going to limit myself to I can't borrow equipment. That will be allowed. But the loan is what it is, and I can't borrow more. And so if we run out of money, we run out of money, and game over. And that from my philosophy, that's going to be uncomfortable for me, because I always view having a significant loan is a very bad plan, because you have daily costs. And what I'm probably going to have to look at is having some form of supplementary daily income. So like solar panels, wind farm, those things that grow lettuces, greenhouses, those sorts of things. You're going to need those on the farm just to cover your daily costs. You're going to have to do a lot of contracts, but it should be interesting. It's going to be a challenge for me, because like I said, it's really not my style of play. But there's a lot of nice small tractors now. I've enjoyed using this one. This was a late add to 19 by Giants. It's the Valtra G, and I've enjoyed using this tractor. Good little tractor. I do have GPS on it because it's used for spraying, a lot of fertilizing jobs. I kind of figured you need the... Oh, this field is over nitrogenated. Looks like field 8 might need some. This field is good to go. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, because of the problems of seeing where you've driven. If I had to fertilize that field, it would be a pain in the butt, because I can't see where I've been by the texture. However, with precision farming, you can see on the mini map where you've been. So that's kind of a little bit of a rescue. And then my big tractors I tend to put GPS on just because, as a percentage of the overall cost of the tractor, it's not that big a deal. I'm paying $325,000 for a tractor. $15,000 more for GPS is, well, who notices it? But for something like an $80,000 tractor, I'm less inclined to put GPS on it, just because your 80,000 tractor becomes 100,000, and there may be other options I can put on the tractor that I will find a little bit more useful. And a lot of the time I can eyeball this thing, so I'm not wasting seed, fertilizer, whatever, although seed is now going to be metered as well if you pay for it. So all sorts of fun things coming out with precision farming in the new release. Which is going to be, you know, there's going to be a learning curve, and obviously I'm probably not going to try it out. I'm probably just going to jump straight in the deep end and say, okay, we're now going precision farming, new map, let's do this. And let's figure it out as we go. There's a lot of stuff here I figure out as I go, and then remember, yeah, we already figured that bit out. Trying to think, you know, it's sort of how many times do I need to ted clover to make hay? We did do a major test initially to see does clover decay in the weather. Is clover treated like grass with seasons? And we quickly deduced that no, it's not. So you can leave loose or baled clover out in a field for as long as you like, and it will not go away. Same deal with clover hay. You don't have to worry about weather for that. Obviously silage you never do. But there were, you know, interesting problems with clover. What is it? I think when we got down to baling, you can wrap clover with that. You can wrap clover with... Do I have one? Yeah, one of those. You cannot wrap clover with the extractor. So this, no, this thing doesn't wrap clover. You can't put clover in that. Oh, that's a wrapper as well. Well, there you go. I think I could run this, or was it that? I could run one of the baler wrappers, but it would only run at 2 miles an hour. So at that point I just said, yeah, this is not working. Okay, and again, no extra nitrogen needed for this field. I'm going to drive across the field with it on, and we'll see how far we get. And pretty much, nope. Okay, well, we have finished fertilizing our fields. I believe that in there is more solid fertilizer. I'm gonna consolidate our solid fertilizer. Or is that lime? That might be lime. That looks like fertilizer though.